Hello and welcome to the CVG database model. In short, this model helps us to identify the cost items that we need to focus on because it has a big change or abnormal change throughout the period. On the left side of the model, you can see the cost unit and the billed customers. The cost unit is actually the database that we pull the data from, and the billed customers are the customers that belongs to that cost units. If we take a step back to look at CVG's global footprint, we will understand more about the cost unit. So here is the global footprint and ERP source of CVG. So as you can see here, CVG has a lot of database around the world. For each of these warehouses, they had their own ERP system. So our first task was to pull out the data from these systems and aggregate them into a file that we can work on. And actually that file is the data files here. So our first task is to process this data. So we add, in order to sort them in, we add the year, the quarter, and the month. And also we sort them out by customers name, item IDs, and cost unit. So going back to the model, if you choose a cost unit here, the model will sort out all the customers that belong to that cost units. For example, if we choose UK here, this is actually all the customers that is from the UK's database. So if you click on a particular customers, the model will generate an automatic report for that customers. So that's pretty cool. And this is actually the cost analysis dashboard. For the cost analysis, we use top-down approach. So first, for each customers, the first thing that we come up with is actually the total cost summary report for that customers. For example, here we have Acorn Business Supplies, and this is summary of all the costs that incurs with these customers during the period from 2012 to 2016. So we have four charts here: labor cost, standard overhead cost, material cost, and also the summary of overall cost. Now within each customers, if you want to go one level into the details, you can choose to see the top number of items here, and then the model will come up with a table of all the item IDs. For example, here for these customers, if we choose like top 10 items, we can see that all the items, all the cost items that belong to these customers. And we sort them by the percentage of change. So we want to sort the items that has the biggest change during the period. And if we want to see some more items, instead of 10, we can choose with this button here. We can choose 5 or we choose 15. For example, if I choose 15 to see 15 top items that has the biggest change in cost, I'm going to choose 15 here. All right, so here it is. And another level of details is actually within each cost items. So moving to this section of the model is actually at the items model. So the item ID here is linked to the previous table. So if we choose 15 items, we're gonna have the list of 15 items here. And this is actually the cost analysis of those items. And also for the report view, we can choose quarter. We can choose to view the cost change by quarter or by year. So in this case, I chose quarter, but I can always choose the year. And then you see the model does change. Everything does change. Let's go back to quarter. Actually, one drawback of the model is that we cannot work on the monthly changes in the cost. This is because we had some problem with the pivot table. We are working on that, and hopefully we can incorporate the monthly cost later. So right now, this we will just work on quarter. Then the first thing that we came up with is the overall cost structure. As you can see here is the percentage in terms of the percentage of cost breakdown between material cost, labor cost, and overhead cost. And you can see here the material cost is kind of make up for majority of the cost. And also we incorporate the trend summary for all of the course, material cost, overhead cost, and also labor cost and the total cost. And then the model also comes up with all the costs in detail. So we can see here labor cost, overhead cost, and material cost. We can use this charts to see, if there is any discrepancies or abnormal change in the cost throughout the period. For example, here for the labor cost, we can see that in 2012, between quarter 1 and quarter 3, the labor cost is like it just increased a lot compared to material and overhead costs. Yep, and that's about like the majority of the model. Because material cost is like the biggest cost item, and also it is like the it it it, it it's just compound like the majority of the cost here. You can see that it's about 86% for the period. So we also include a button here so that every time you click on it, it's just like come up with the detail of the material transaction during the current period, so that you can take a look at all the transactions regarding to the material cost and decide whether if there's any discrepancies or is there any kind of abnormal items that you want to focus on your executive reports. For example, if I click here, so the model will come up with a bill of materials. So this is actually the general ledgers for all the materials transaction throughout the period. And from this, you can choose to focus on any items, and it is actually formatted. So you can sort the you can search for the item IDs here, or you can just sort it by the value of the cost here. So this is like material cost, labor cost, overhead, and total cost. And this bill of material consists of all the items, not only the top items. If you want to choose the top items, you can click here and then sort it like this. For example, I want to see item 71255. Yep, that's it. And that's our model. Thank you for listening.